I decided to bake a cheesecake today. I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna do a strawberry, modified strawberry, and an Oreo cookie. I'm so excited. So, to go ahead and get this thing started, you will need a pack of cookies and 2 things of graham crackers. I'm going to be making them each at the same time, so I'm going to do one to one thing and one to the other. Crunch up the cookies. I'm using my hand for the beginning part, then I'll use the blender. But 1 sleeve of cookies are 12 unless you get the larger pack. I suggest getting the larger pack just so you'll have more cookies in it. I'm starting off with cookies for the base, the bottom, the crust. Girl, crunch them cookies up. This is my first time making Oreo. This is my second time making strawberry cheesecake. So, let's see how this thing turned out. Now, once I crunch those up, I'm going to go ahead and do the graham crackers. If you do... So I noticed if you break up a little of the graham crackers and then you crunch them and blend them as you're crunching, it's so much easier. Like, don't crunch up all of them and then try to blend all of them at the same time. It's going to take forever. So do a couple at a time and it's easier. I realized that afterwards. That's why I'm going through this situation right here. But y'all already know this. That's why I'm shaking. I'm getting it together. Got to restart. Just do it right the first time. Put a little at a time. Now we're going to go ahead and crunch up the Oreos. As soon as I get all the rest of my crumbs at the bottom. Now, when making the crust, yes, you want it to be fine and blended very well, but when putting it inside the actual cheesecake, I don't even think you need to blend that much. Like, you can blend half of it and keep the rest crunchy. Who doesn't love Oreos? Like, if I can bite into the Oreo, that's great. I need me some chunks of Oreos. You just don't want it grounded. Now, I didn't try this because I didn't know. I blended all of mine. But I feel like I don't get the full Oreo taste. Time for the butter. Butter, 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 butter. One of mine my pans are larger than the other. So I cut a little under half. Put it in 2 separate containers and melted the butter. To each his own. However you heat your butter is your business. But I did mine the quick way, which is in the microwave. Made sure my butter was melted and start mixing the butter on the graham crackers. Try to get a coat of butter on all the graham crackers. Make sure you mix it very well. That's why I was pouring a little at a time. You don't want some to be soaking wet and then others to be dry. So take your time, honey. And then you already know what you do to one, you have to do to the other. Go ahead, take your time, pour a little at a time into the Oreos. Mix well. Pour it in your dish. I decided not to use my spring pan because last time I tried to use it, it got water in it and my crust was soggy. Now, don't get me wrong. The cheesecake was still good. It was just a little soggy and had to harden up. But it was still good. But I decided to use the pan that worked better for me. So you put the crust in the bottom of the pan and try to pat it tightly. Some people, to pat it down, use a cup. That didn't work for me. I tried to use my little bowl. That didn't work for me. So I just used my hand and this little ramekin, which I feel like it really didn't do anything. My hand is better. It is what it is. Go ahead and start pouring them graham crackers in there. Pat that down all the way on the bottom and up the sides. Who doesn't love graham crackers? Pat it up the side. Try to get it as tightly packed as possible. Now it's time to put them in the oven. You want to pre-bake it so hopefully it doesn't crumble as you're eating it. or presenting it. So bake that for 5 to 10 minutes. No more than 10 minutes. I let it stay. So after I take mine out of the oven, I put mine in the freezer to cool off. So when I put my cheesecake, it won't be so hot. So put that in the freezer. Let that cool down while you make your actual cheesecake. Be sure to clean up as you go because you don't want a sink full of dishes as you're still trying to maneuver around. Okay, so this is the part where I kind of ad-libbed. The recipe did not cause for whipped cream, but the last time I made two. I made one with whipped cream and one with sour cream and whipped cream. I put too much sour cream. Like you could taste the sour cream taste. So I put a dollop of sour cream and a lot of whipped cream. This is my sugar. Follow the measurements. It's easier, maybe for you. And I'm doing both of them at the same time. One bowl has 4 blocks of cream cheese. The other has 3 blocks because my container is smaller. I'm doing the same amount of eggs, 3 eggs. Now, if you forgot to take out your ingredients an hour to 3 hours ahead of time, go ahead and just put it in the microwave. Make it a little soft. But it needs to be room temperature. It needs to be a little warm. Don't take it straight out of the fridge and think everything's going to go quickly. It's not going to work that way. Don't overbeat your cheesecake because you have a lot of ingredients to add. This is the whipped cream. Add a little over here. Add a little over there. And whip it, whip it, whip it. Now, I wasn't going to add sour cream, but since all the ingredients required sour cream, I added a little bit of sour cream. Not much because I didn't want my stuff tasting sour, so like a little sour cream. When you add the eggs in, make sure you're doing them one at a time. Don't add all of them at the same time. Add one, mix it a little bit, add the next one, mix it a little bit, and then add the last one. What you do to one, you have to do to the other. Oh, girl, don't forget those cookies that you had on the side. Those 15 to 20 extra cookies. Throw them things in there. Now for the strawberry cheesecake, I did not use real strawberries. I'm using strawberry syrup. This is my first time trying this, so dum dum dum. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. This shit is amazing. Try it and see. So, now take your crust out of the freezer. Let's go ahead and get these things in the oven. One small but very important detail. As I've been reading, you need to line your pan with foil, then place it in lukewarm water. That little tin around it, that was the only thing I could use. If you have a taller baking sheet, use that. Just don't let the water seep into your cheesecake. I tried to be skimpy on my foil paper one time and my stuff got soggy. Don't do it. Double layer your foil. Now you want to add the water to the pan that everything is sitting in. Do not add it to your cheesecake pan. This is called a water bath. And I just added enough water to like an inch of water. You don't want it too high because you don't want it seeping into your cheesecake. And you don't want it too low where it perhaps boil out in the oven. I'm not sure. I don't want those problems though. So I added like an inch or two. Everything's in the oven now. Just gotta wait and then let it chill. I'll put the ingredients up. I winged it. I'm not really a measurer, so I'll put the measurements up as well.